Mm, mm, so poor. Look at the dog telling me to pull this heel. We made it to the top. Hey there, Northwest. Happy Friday. I get so tired of the Q&A thing popping up there. I don't have any Q&As that I want to do. Okay, the pecans are falling. pecans are falling. They're kind of small, but they're falling. I'm telling y'all, it's the holidays. If you have pecan or pecan, however you pronounce it, trees, pick you some. Pick them, pick them, pick them. Because it's that time of year for them. Yep. Most of these haven't fallen yet, but look at that. They're falling. They're starting to fall. So if you see any and the person doesn't mind, or if you're like in a park, pick them up. Pick them up. Pick them up. It'll save you some money. There aren't that many on the ground yet. Most of them are on the still on the tree. But most of them are still on the tree. But some of them are falling. So if you have a tree in your area, just get them, pick them up, wash them off, crack these buddies, crack these bad boys and eat them. Or crack them, clean them, crack them, pick them, and use them on your sweet potato casserole. If you like that, if you like pecans on that, use them in your pecan pie, pecan pie, pecan pie, however you pronounce it. So I walk by some trees, and there are a lot of them. Okay, he decided to get to the stop sign and blast his music. So YouTube, I do not own the rights to that music. If you happen to have caught that, I'm outside. And when we're outside, we hear everything. Okay? We hear everything. But yes, so I picked those up. I'm going to take them inside, wash them, pick them, and see what they taste like. See what they're tasting like. Yard sale. Yard sale tomorrow. People, well, they always have yard sales on like Friday and Saturday. But people are really trying to make extra money any way they can these days. So, if you do happen to stop by a yard sale or a garage sale, as some people say, make sure that don't just get it because it's cheap, right? Because sometimes it's not cheap. Sometimes those garage sale and those yard sale prices are high, just like in the store. Now, if it's something of high quality, of course they're not gonna give away their stuff. They're not gonna sell it for little of nothing. But be careful that you don't overspend or spend too much when you're at those garage sales, those yard sales, or rummage. Some people call them rummage sales. Don't spend too much. If you can find a good deal, find it. But especially in this economy, be mindful of what you spend in the stores and, at the yard sales. Because some people just buy because it's cheap. Some people just spend at the garage sales because it's cheap. But if it's not something that you need right about now, try not to spend. Try not to spend your money. If you're going to spend it on food. Spend it on filling your deep freezer. Spend it on filling your deep freezer and your cabinets, your refrigerator, your extra refrigerator. You know, your standby in the basement, or that extra deep freezer that you have where you can store all kinds of meats. Y'all need to start think about what's going on, D? Hey, bro, welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And I'm telling y'all, listen, if you got, see, some people don't get that many SNAP benefits anyway, because they barely qualify, right? So if you're a person and you get a decent amount, I hope that you save a little bit every month anyway, because from the looks of it, this is going into next week, at least next week. And so those who are supposed to get SNAP benefits starting tomorrow and over the weekend won't get them. So be mindful of what you spend your money on. Make sure that your deep freezer, your refrigerator, your extra deep freezer, make sure that they're full. If you can. Even if they're not full, put as much as you can afford to put in them. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Put as much as you can afford to put in them. Because these rich people don't care. These rich people don't care. I don't care if you work 1 day a week. If you work 1 day a week, you get cut taxes, right? And our taxes are paying their salaries as they sit home, and people don't get their food, people don't get their pay, and people don't get their health insurance. The health insurance is about to skyrocket. And they want to call people bums and call them lazy. Everybody who gets assistance, again, everybody who gets assistance is not lazy. They're not bums. And truth be told, if you're living in an area where they only pay you the federal minimum wage, which has not gone up in years and years, and every time it goes up, it's been years and years since the last increase. Sometimes it is cheaper to stay at home. It is cheaper to stay at home. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? And don't feel bad about it. People love to say, stop depending on the government. Well, the government depends on us. They depend on us for their pay. Every congressman who is sitting on his behind, her behind right now, not wanting to negotiate and have a solution. Every one of them. If you've ever worked, your salary, you were cut. You were cut. Your pay, you were cut. And that goes to pay their salary. Sure does. So just she be wanting to do it. She be wanting to do it every day. She be wanting to do that shit every day. And he sit there like a fool. I'm gonna get him picked up. I'm gonna get him picked up. He got a mouth, he'll bite. I don't be playing. These people that don't want to put their dogs on the leash. And we live in an area where they're supposed to be on the leash. Their dogs come running up to you. And then they get offended when you pull something out. They get offended when you pull something out to deal with it. He's sitting over there looking all long-faced like, he know every time that dog runs up on somebody, I know, or up on me, he knows where my hand goes. So you better take control of your dog. You better take control of your dog. Okay, guys, they always come As soon, it's like you'll see a car coming and there's no music. And then as soon as they get closer to you, and it's not because of the distance, it's like you literally hear no music. And most of the times you don't hear anything. And as soon as they get up to somebody, they blast the music. They start the music. I'm like, YouTube, I'm outside, okay? And when we're outside, we hear these vehicles, these helicopters, these airplanes, the music from the cars. Look, it's just like it's a part of nature. It's a part of nature. So I don't own the rights to any music that you may hear by mistake. So I guess I just gotta throw that out there, right? Then you gotta throw that out there for everybody except TikTok. I don't think it really matters for TikTok. Am I right, y'all, or am I wrong? But everybody else, they hear somebody else's music playing in your background, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. I've heard people say that they've gotten caught because of their own music. Like the music belonged to them. And they gotta notice. I'm like, the music belongs to them. What's going on? But I don't hear anybody ever say that. I mean, I think it gets straightened out or whatever. I think it gets straightened out. But wherever you are, unless you're like maybe out west, it's been some cold weather, it's been some okay weather, it's been some warm weather over the past like 2 weeks. You get all three of the above. You get warm, you get cold, you get in between. But that's how it is when seasons start to change. Seasons start to change, and that's what you get. You get warm, you get cold, you get in between. One day you got a jacket on. One day it's cold enough to put on a coat. And if you don't like coats, just kind of layer up. Put on your A shirt, your T-shirt, your sweater, and your thick jacket. And the next day it's warm enough for flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt. How many of y'all live in areas like that? Leave it in the comments if you happen to catch this live replay. We got about 8 more minutes. So when you stop paying attention, we try to get 30 minutes in the evening, at least 30 minutes. And you stop paying attention, it flies by. I think the last time I looked, it was 3 minutes and something. And now it's coming up on 25 minutes. So when you stop paying attention, it goes by. It goes by. And if you're doing something, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. If you don't see anybody in your chat, somebody's gonna see it, okay? Somebody's gonna see it. They don't show all the views in your during your live stream. I learned that a long time ago. So probably about, maybe even later tonight, but definitely like the next day or so, you'll look and you'll see numbers and you'll be like, it wasn't that many people. And yes, it is, because there are so many different sources. There are so many different sources, and they don't always show up in the chat. So if you're just on here, just to be on here, like we do, just kicking it, don't worry about it. Somebody will see you. And it's not even about somebody seeing you all the time. It's about you getting a chance to just kind of, what do we say? Relax, release, relate, resolve, replenish, restore, refill, rebuild, reevaluate, recreate. All of those positive R words. Y'all know the favorite letter over here is R. Remember who you are. Revisit the good things that you remember about yourself, that you would like to continue to do, experience, the good parts of you that you would like to continue to be. And remember those things, those goals that you set, that you sometimes you forget about. Remember those goals and continue to reach for those goals. Sometimes they're short term, sometimes they're long term. Sometimes they have to be adjusted, readjusted, right? You plan to do something within 2 months and it takes 4, that's all right. You got it done, right? You plan to do something within 2 months and you get it done within a month. Even better, right? That means you were highly dedicated, or you were more focused than you thought, and the task wasn't as hard as you thought it would be, and you got it done. You get her done, okay? Remember over here, we just walk and talk in the evenings, almost every evening. Not too much on the weekends. Every now and again, we'll jump on Saturday and Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, or especially if I miss a day during the week. And we just walk and talk. We do not professionally, medically, or clinically assess, diagnose, right? Treat, evaluate, or prescribe. We just drop nuggets. And those nuggets are meant to help you think about things and research things. And maybe even take those things to your doctor, your healthcare provider. That could be your doctor, your nurse practitioner, your physician's assistant, your specialty doctor, your psychologist, your psychiatrist. Because God knows a lot of times they're needed, right? Your physical therapist, your occupational therapist. And there's so much you can do to relieve stress as far as cardiovascular and aerobic activities go. And walking is just one of them. And by the grace of God, you can move those legs, move them however fast you want to, however slow you want to. But over here, we try to move with a purpose. All right, we try to have some pep in our step. But some days we're just easy breezy, right? Easy breezy. Just depends on your goals, depends on your focus, depends on your accomplishments, depends on how you feel that day. And it just feels on whether you want to or not. But as long as you're moving those legs, moving those arms, putting a little swivel in the hips, and keeping that head on a swivel, monitoring your surroundings, you're moving, and that's a good thing. You're moving, and that's a good thing. Almost 30 minutes. We got like about 3 more minutes. So you just put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, and you just move. And you keep moving. Keep moving. Now, how long you keep moving, that's up to you. Again, up to your goals, right? Up to your capabilities. Remember, you don't have to do what your neighbor does, what your YouTube neighbor does, what your actual neighbor does, what your sister does, what your brother does, what your parents do. Some of the parents can outdo us. You don't have to do what the other person at the gym is doing. Because at that point, whatever you're doing is almost like a waste of time. You cannot keep up with someone that you cannot compare with, right? You cannot compete where you don't compare. You cannot keep up where you don't compare. So go at your own speed, your own pace. Focus on your own goals. Your goals may be similar to someone else's, and you may have some of the same goals. But your path, though similar, is often different. All right? It's often different. So just move those legs, move those hips, move those arms, move that body, work that body, work that body. Make sure you don't hurt your body. Work your body, work your body. Don't overexert your body. But keep moving. Even if you just decide that you want to keep moving for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. I encourage bare minimum 30. Bare minimum 30, guys. But it depends on your journey. Where are you? Are you at the beginning? If so, 15 is good. Because 15 is more than you did the day before, right? You do 15 every day this week. What is that? An hour and 15 minutes more than you did last week. So do what you know what's conducive to your needs. What's conducive to helping you to get where you want to be. Reaching the goals that you have. So just do that. And like right now, we at a standstill. We just walk in place. We walk in place. So we keep moving. You can walk, you can jog, you can run, you can skip, you can hop, right? You can dance in place, walk in place, run in place, jog in place. You can go swimming. If it's cold outside, go swimming indoors. If it's hot outside, go swimming indoors or outdoors, whichever one you prefer. But just do something. The weight of the water is very healthy, but make sure, that depends on your situation. So again, make sure you consult what? Your healthcare team. Remember, your healthcare team. Any of those people that I just named, that's your healthcare team. Those are the members of your healthcare team. And I always tell you guys that your doctor is your coach and you are the quarterback. You are the quarterback, right? You scan the field, right? You look for whatever it is that you see that is healthy for you and your team. Because when your team is helping you, they get pleasure out of seeing you be successful in your health journey as well. All right? But you are your biggest advocate. You. So whenever you and your team come up with an exercise plan, schedule, regimen, routine, try your best to stick with it. If there is something that is too strenuous for you, that's when we talk about M&Ms over here. Moderation and modification. Sometimes it's not really that the exercise itself is hard to do, but maybe you can't do the 3 sets of 12 reps in each set. So you do 8, you do 6, and that's your set, right? So even though you're doing something healthy, moderation. Maybe you can't do a deep squat. Do a mini squat. Modification. Hold on to the wall. Modification. So M&Ms over here in Lions Pride are not the candy-covered chocolates, but they represent moderation and modification. Moderation and modification. That's what the M&Ms represent over here. I want you to think of your exercise as fun. Sometimes, you're thinking, how can it be fun if you don't even feel like doing it? Well, you'll get to a point where you want to feel like doing it. And then sometimes you'll get to a point where you're burned out. Even if you do enjoy it, even if it is fun to you. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break, but make sure that you are mentally and physically committed to getting back into the swing of things and not taking a break that's too long. Because the longer your break, the more you'll want to break, okay? The more you'll want to break. And you may even be saying, I need to get back to it. But the longer you break. So even when I go on vacation, okay, I'm back. I got a call, y'all. I got a call. So even when I go on vacation, I still exercise. Hey, Lynn, one of these times I want to walk with you, me on my treadmill, because you really are a motivator and you don't just talk it, you do it faithfully. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate you. Of course we can walk. They have that thing on there like collabs, I think. So whenever you want to do it, just let me know. Let me know. Send me an email. If I don't answer the email, just leave a comment. Leave a comment and let me know. I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words, and I appreciate you saying that. Because I always tell them, I said, my goal is really not to motivate people. I know like motivate and encourage. They're like real similar. But to me, I think about motivating young people and kids. But when it comes to us adults, I feel like I want to encourage you. I want you to find motivation within yourself. Because guess what? That's just like when you're a little girl or a little boy or a grown person, and you're having a conversation with somebody and they're like, she said that I think I'm pretty, or he said that I think I look good. Well, if you don't, who will? That's how I feel about motivation. If you don't motivate you, who will? Now, that being said, sometimes you can find motivation in a person and the person doesn't even know that they're motivating you. And that's a great thing. But I think just me, as my goals go, if I can motivate somebody, that's beautiful. It's a great thing. But my goal is always to try to encourage you to do what you've already motivated yourself to start doing. Like you may exercise or you may want to eat better, but you find yourself slacking off. I want to be that person to say, you gotta, you started it, right? You got started. See, the motivation is there. It's just slacking a little bit. So I want to encourage you to get back into it. Get back into it. But sometimes you motivate people whether you intend to or not. And that's a good thing. And that's the person of any age. Kids motivate adults often, right? They'll motivate someone in their prime. They motivate the elderly and vice versa. Vice versa. We learn a lot from the elderly, right? And we learn a lot from kids. I had a person that always would tell me, learn from an elder, teach a young one. And that is true. That's good advice. But you can sometimes reverse that. Learn from a young one and teach an elder. And young kids can learn from us, but they can also teach us. So that is, when you hear that you've motivated somebody, it is a good feeling. It is a good feeling. But I see so many people, like they'll tell you, I do it, but I plan to do it 5 days this week, and I only did it 3. That's okay. Most healthcare professionals advise you to exercise at least 3 days anyway, right? And sometimes people have a goal, and they need to do 5-6 days a week, and whether their goal is weight loss or just improving their fitness level, once they feel better, once they see the weight come down, they may drop from 5 to 3 days a week. But if you want to improve some things and you just find, like, I started this week and I did 5 days, and now it's next month, and the whole past month you haven't done a day, you need some encouragement. You got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get up. We want to stay motivated. We want to stay encouraged, and we want to continue. It's okay to take a break, though. It is okay to take a break. Just always have it in your mind. Always have it in your mind that you're going to start back. Have a set date to start back. If you have a set date to start back, I think that helps. And like I said, sometimes when you go out of town, you're just going to have some fun. You're going to get away. But what happens when you exercise? For me, that's my me time. So I'm having fun with myself. So when I go out of town, I may not exercise all 5 days, but I'm going to still exercise 2 or 3 days. If I'm at a hotel especially, you pay all that money, use that gym. You pay all that money, use that gym. Use that gym. You can take a little break. You go out of town for 5 days, or if you go out of town for the weekend, of course, maybe you don't feel like exercising. But if you go out of town for like 5-7 days, and that hotel has a nice gym, that resort has a nice gym, that's part of what you're paying for. You don't have to go down there every day unless you want to, but go down there and enjoy that amenity. You're paying for it. You're paying for it. So it's been 40 minutes, you guys. We already went over those R words, those positive R words, right? We'll run over a couple of them again. Release, relax this weekend. Try to do that every day. Like, I know the week is rough. It gets hectic with the kids, grandkids, work, hustle and bustle. But try to find 10 to 15 minutes out of each day to just take some deep breaths in and out, okay? And if you're too tired to go walking or something after work, try to do it on one of your 10 to 15 minute work breaks. Most of us get like maybe two 15-minute breaks and a 30-minute break, or an hour and a 15-minute break. Well, take you some healthy snacks with you and walk on one of those breaks, right? So as you're eating, you're walking it off too. As you're eating, you're walking it off too. Or don't eat a snack on one of those breaks. Get your lunch and then eat your snack on your other break, whether it's the first one or the second one, especially if you get 2 15-minute breaks. Just however you do it that works for you. You can't really do it when you get them sometimes. You may not feel like it. And that way you don't get all sweaty, especially in the summertime. Because, if you're at work and you go outside and walk around that building, you can get sweaty, okay? And you don't want to do that. But sometimes you can walk in the inside. Like if you work in a store, department store, or a mall, sometimes you can just walk in the inside. Take you one of those mini steppers and sit it up under your desk and use that. So find ways, especially when you're pushed for time each and every day, because 24 hours a day, in a day, it flies by. We try to sleep 8, hopefully, right? You're going to work 8, then you're going to probably take you about 2 to get ready for work, or to even if it's not to totally get ready, it's to get ready and get there. That leaves you with 6. You got to get with the kids or the grandkids, or maybe with the parents, or you maybe have an event to go to. That's probably 4. And then those other 2, you just want to chill. I get it. So just find ways to incorporate it. I tell y'all all the time, if you're standing there and you're doing nothing, or you're waiting on somebody, do you some squats. Do you some squats. Do you some squats. Walk in place. Pull those knees up. Bend at those hips, that hip joint, the hip flexors. Bend them up. Pull 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 them up. So you get something in, right? So we remember the R words: release, relax, relate, resolve, remember, restore, replenish, rapport, right? Reevaluate some things, reconstruct, refocus, reset, restart. All right? So many positive R words. And remember that 4-letter word, SELF, self, self-love, self-motivation, self-dedication, self-determination, self-esteem, self-control, self-respect, right? You can put self in front of any positive word. And it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. Most of us, we put God first, and then we put family next. And sometimes you start putting other people even before yourself. You've got to take some time out to put yourself first, so that you can continue to do the things that you do to help your family and to help yourself, right? So don't let people bother you. Don't let people stress you out. You're not going to get along with everybody. You're not going to click with everybody. Okay? And if you find yourself in some type of situation, I usually say it's a misery lounge, where, where it say misery loves company. Misery loves company. Sometimes you'll be in there and you'll think everything is cool. You're having a nice drink. You're having some nice food, and you're watching TV, and you've been in there chilling, having conversation. And all of a sudden, those people start unzipping their clothes, and you realize they are sheep, but they're wolves coming out of sheep's clothing. So misery loves company. And again, sometimes it's not even the fact that they're too miserable. Well, if you're trying to make somebody else miserable, there's got to be something going on with you. But oftentimes, the thing about it is, some people are just messy. Just messy. And they may not really be miserable, but they like making other people miserable. But I don't know. I think there's got to be something going on with them, right? They just like making other people miserable. Hey, Robert. Let me try. Okay, that's right. They're just like, sometimes people just like making other people miserable. They like making other people feel bad. So if you catch this replay of this live, rather, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you would like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? I would appreciate it. And if you don't want to subscribe, then just come back again, and maybe you'll subscribe the next time. Because if you come back, that means you want to come back for something. So just go ahead and subscribe. Okay? Just subscribe. So y'all know what I tell you. Don't let people bother you. Don't let people stress you out. And don't allow yourself to remain in the misery lounge. Don't allow somebody to come and make your lounge miserable. Keep your personal space. If they come in to make your space miserable, put them out. Okay? Put them out. Well, my birthday is Monday, November 3rd. I'll be 54. Happy early birthday, Robert. I hope I come on Monday. I plan to come on Monday. So you might be partying. You might be partying, Robert. You might be partying. But if you're not, spend some of your birthday over here with us if I go live. Usually, well, you know what? Remember, people, the time falls back. Time falls back. Set your clocks back. Turn your clocks back. Right? So it'll probably be like 5 Eastern time when I go Monday. But then again, I don't know. It just depends on my mood. Y'all know I walk at night, so I don't I don't mind walking at night. It's not definitely always planned to walk at night, but sometimes I will if I want to get it in and I've been kind of rushing and I'm like, okay, it just turned dark. While it's early, let me go get it about 30 minutes. I will. So you don't have any plans, Robert? Robert, you got to get some plans. You got to get some plans. You got to get you some plans. Make you some plans. I pray that families, kids have food to eat and clothes on their backs. Oh my gosh. Yes, right, Robert. Just got done talking about it. Just got done talking about it. Listen, guys, I know, everybody doesn't get EBT. So for those who don't receive EBT, I know it's hard for you too. It's hard for everybody right now. Especially though for those who depend on assistance. It's hard. So if you have anything that you can share with anybody, I don't know who you know, but you know who you know. You know someone in your family, your community who might need some help, some assistance. And it doesn't always have to be financial. We've been talking about this for the past 3 or 4 weeks. You can just go into your cabinet right now, right? Y'all know a lot of times we put stuff in our cabinets that have a expiration date that's like a year or two away. And, hold on, y'all. We got some music. Okay, I think I'm far enough and I'm talking loud enough. But go in your cabinets, check all of the expiration dates, all of the Best Buy dates, because Best Buy doesn't necessarily mean that it has expired. It just means that, the taste of it, the quality may not be what you would like. So don't give anybody any expired foods, okay? And don't give anybody anything that's way beyond the Best Buy. Like I say a month or so after the Best Buy, I wouldn't give anybody something after that because I wouldn't want someone to give me that. Even though technically I would probably use it. Like if it says Best Buy October 31st, I would probably use it up until November 30th, and that's it. So if I were to give it to somebody, I would be like, listen, this is a Best Buy. This doesn't say that it expires. So if you use it on the 31st, what's going to be the difference if you use it on November 5th? That's why it's a Best Buy, right? So I let people know I don't mind them even refusing it because, sometimes people just have their ways, right? But if you have something that that you haven't used and you've had it in that cabinet for about 6 months to a year, go ahead and donate that to somebody. Donate it to somebody, right? If you can find, sometimes certain grocery stores have, and listen, Walmart has been having like a reduction on their prices. Now I say a reduction. In all actuality and all honesty, it's probably really what the prices were like 6 months ago or a year ago. Because, the past 6 months to the past year, everything has skyrocketed. So you may see something in there that's $1 now. That was probably $1 last October. But between last October and now, at some point, it went up to almost $2. I mean, you got to get it where you can get it, right? Robert says, I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't drink nor smoke. That's awesome. That's good, Robert. That's good. That is good. That's good. If you chose to do those, that would be, you. But some people are they don't do it at all. And that's great. Some people do it for special occasions, So whatever you do, any of the vices that we have, try not to overindulge, okay? And that's to anybody. Robert says he does not drink, he does not smoke. And that is a great thing. That's the best way to be. So if you do have certain vices, make sure that you don't overdo it, that you don't overindulge. And I say that because the holiday season is upon us. There are going to be Christmas parties starting. There are going to be Thanksgiving get-togethers, first of all. Then the Christmas parties are going to start toward the end, like right after Thanksgiving, like the last week of November, the first week of December, because people don't wait until like Christmas to have their Christmas parties because people are trying to get their last minute shopping. And even if they don't shop, they're just doing things for family and friends. So just you guys be careful, be safe, of course, be blessed, right? And again, if you can share something with somebody out of your kitchen, do that. It doesn't always mean going to the grocery store. It doesn't always mean giving them money. It doesn't always mean sending a Cash App or a Venmo. Sometimes you can just have what you have, get what you have, and you can share it. Yep, yep. When it's dark, when it's dark or when I think it's gonna get dark, I definitely put it on. I definitely put it on. Yep. And see, especially in the wintertime. Now in the summertime, every now and again I might get caught outside without it on because like it gets dark later in the summer. So I might start walking, and if I'm on here, because there have been times where I walk for like 2 hours. And if I'm on here like an hour and a half or 2 hours, it starts to get dark and I may get caught without it. But especially like this time of the year when the clock is about to, we're about to turn our clocks back, I try my best to remember to keep my hat. And if I don't have my hat, I have my flashlight. And I like today I have on dark clothes. So that's why I put on my ankle weights with the yellow. I have on dark clothes. I put on my ankle weights with the yellow. I put on my hat, and I'll, wave my flashlight. Let's see. YouTube is holding a comment. Let me see. Okay. I don't know why the hell they comment, but I just clicked it for it to show, Robert. I don't know why they did that. Be safe, Miss Pride. I worry about you get you a bat or a baton. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. But I try to make sure, like when I'm on here with you guys, and it's night, I'm within yelling distance of family and friends and neighbors. But you still have to be safe. You're absolutely right. You still have to be safe. You have to be safe. Because people will try anything these days. And then not just people, animals. You got animals and stuff out. Like I got one neighbor, he is so hard-headed about putting his dog on a leash. He feels like because he's out there with the dog that he doesn't have to have him on a leash. Well, lately the dog has not been on a leash and he's been watching everybody walk by. Like you could just tell it in his demeanor that he just wants to run up to you. Who knows what he'll do? We don't know that dog. So today when I started out, he came running up to me. And I never run from him. I always slow down and just stop. And here he comes running after him. But when he runs after him, he's slow about it. And I outright told him that I got something for that. So you keep playing if you want to. Yesterday when I was leaving, I saw a young girl that was jogging. His dog is out. He's looking one way. The dog is looking toward the girl. He's looking the opposite way. And you could tell he's been trying to train the dog to sit still because the dog he looks like he's on, I think it's a girl dog, but she looks like she's on pins and needles to just get up and just run after you. So today she saw me, and I don't know if because I'm kind of dressed differently, because lately she's not been moving when she sees me. So I'm dressed a little bit differently. I'm in all black except for my hat and my ankle weights. So I don't know if but she should smell me though. Your neighbors know how you smell. Your neighbors' pets know how you smell. So today, she just decides to trot on out there to the street to me, and I stop because I'm not gonna run. Because the more you run, they're gonna run. Now, if it was a little kid, you can't tell a little kid that. If a kid sees a dog coming, that kid's gonna run. I'm like, you're gonna mess around one day, God forbid, and somebody's gonna get your behind that dog. And so it's not a big dog. And I don't mind, boom, I don't mind at all. Especially when you're hard-headed and you want to keep them. I like a pet. I love a pet just like anybody else. I have dogs. They're never out. They're never running around. And I'm not just going to stand outside and look the opposite way as my dog roams around. So, yep, she tried it today. But I could tell he's been training her because lately she's been sitting and not doing anything. But she has this, dogs are like, they're like humans. They know when we're scared. We know when they're scared. They know when we don't care. We know when they're like, oh, I'm not thinking about that person. There's just the body language. Dogs have body language too. So I could just tell he's been looking like he just wants to. She's been looking like she just wants to get after people. But she sits there. She just sits there and she just watches you, stares you down, follow you until you get out of sight or until she gets tired looking at you. But today, you know how like they say always your instincts are always on point? Usually about 90 to 95% of the time, especially when it comes to an animal. I was like, she gonna run out here today. And I be doggone John Brown. Like she ran out there. Yep, exactly. Exactly, Robert. A taser. A taser. But see, he know I got Betsy. And to me, it's not the dog's fault. It's not the dog's fault. It's his fault. Because he knows that his dog is not well trained. Apparently, you cannot train her. And that's why I figure he's been trying to train her lately. Because lately, the past couple of weeks, two weeks or so, maybe 3, 2.5, 3, she's been sitting there just watching everybody. And you could tell it's almost like she's tense, like she wants to approach. And today, she was just looking at me. And as I got closer, I could just tell the tail starts to wagging. I'm like, okay, all right. And he's standing right there. And then what's the sad part about it is when she does go after somebody or chase somebody, he acts like he can't run. So if you know you can't run, and I can tell he can't run fast enough to keep up with that dog, then why not put your dog on a leash? You can even put a leash on him and tie him to a sturdy pole while you sit there. Now you can't practice animal abuse because some people will tie their dogs to a pole and leave them tied like that all day. Now you can't do that. Robinson gets okay, Robert. Okay, I got you. A stun pew pew. Yep. And see, dogs like to go for your throat. So I'm like, nah, it's gonna be, if it's me or your dog, since you don't care about him enough to run after him, he makes no big effort he starts to trot after the dog. And like I said, I can tell he can't run fast enough to keep up with the dog. But I got something for you. I'm about to get out of here, y'all. It's been almost an hour. It's like 59 minutes. Thank you for coming in, Robert. I do appreciate you. He'll come up to you, give me your money. I tell him, bro, he's crazy. Trump got all our money. He sure does. He sure does got all our money. Wasting it. Thank you, Robert. You take care as well. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you. I always love having you in the chat. Today is Halloween, so for those who are going to the Halloween parties, those who celebrate that, y'all be safe. People, some people like to celebrate holidays. That holiday, some people don't. So I'm just going to tell you, whether you do or you don't, be safe in whatever you do. Right. Most people just want to have fun. Most people don't, they're not trying to take it where it shouldn't take it. But you just never know. You just never know in this day and time. We have, like you said, Robert, we got somebody in the administration now. I call him Dump. Because he dumps all over people. He acts like Dump. You just never know, right? So thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you for keeping me company. I didn't have many come in here today. Are y'all celebrating Halloween? Anyway, for you guys who didn't come through, I will see you guys on the next live. And of course, Robert, I appreciate you. And there was somebody else in here. D, my bro D, Tribulations Kids came through. So thank you guys. I appreciate you for stopping through. You guys have a blessed weekend. Have a safe weekend. And have a wonderful weekend. And happy early birthday, Robert. Hopefully, I'll be on Monday. And I wish you a happy birthday again. Miss Lynn, Just Being Lynn. That's right. Just Being Lynn came through here. Just Being Lynn. I've been knowing Lynn for a long time. She says we're going to exercise. We're going to walk together. So y'all be good. And I'll see y'all on the next Let's Walk and Talk in Lives Proud Original. Bye, y'all. Take care, Robert. Take care, Lynn. Take care, D. Northwest. Jake came in. So yeah, Jake was in here, D was in here, Lynn was in here, and Robert. I appreciate you guys. And you ladies, because it was one lady. I appreciate you ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Bye, y'all.